Hello everyone, welcome back for another Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire video. In this video, I will discuss HBO's upcoming series about the life and adventures of Duncan and Egg. As many of you already know, HBO is set to release their new Game of Thrones series, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, in January. We will finally see the Duncan and Egg novellas brought to life on the screen in only 3 months away. In fact, there are many fans who believe they will release their first official trailer at the upcoming convention on the 9th of October. According to author George R.R. Martin, they're going to introduce the show at New York's Comic-Con. He will be joined by the showrunner, as well as Duncan and Egg's lead actors. This information was recently revealed on his Not-a-Blog website, and it said, "We're excited to announce George R.R. Martin will be headed to New York Comic-Con this October to introduce the new HBO series. I've been anxiously awaiting for this day to arrive ever since HBO officially announced that they were developing other shows set within the A Song of Ice and Fire universe. Now, as you all know, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is based on George R.R. Martin's Duncan and Egg novellas, which are set in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire, roughly 90 years before the main events in A Game of Thrones. The series will highlight what happened during the adventures of the legendary Hedge Knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, who will become a member of the King's Guard, and his squire Egg, who will later become known as King Aegon Targaryen. I can't wait to finally see them navigate the dangerous landscapes and regions of Westeros. What I want to do in this video is give you a glimpse of what will happen during the first few episodes of the upcoming season. Unfortunately, there's only going to be about 6 episodes in the first season, since they are adapting this story from George R.R. Martin's 3 short novellas, The Hedge Knight, The Sworn Sword, and The Mystery Knight. The first season will be an adaptation of The Hedge Knight, which is the story of how Duncan met Egg and the dangerous situation they find themselves in shortly after they arrive at Ashford Meadow. It's another one of my favorite events from Westerosi history. Now, according to HBO's official description of the show, a century before the events in A Game of Thrones, these unlikely heroes wandered Westeros. Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is set during the age when House Targaryen still sits the Iron Throne, and the memory of the last living dragon has yet to fade away. Now we get our introduction of Duncan during the opening scene of the first novella, while he's digging a grave for his old friend and mentor, Sir Arlen. We eventually learn that Duncan was an orphan who lived in the gutters and back alleys of Flea Bottom in King's Landing. Now it says, the old man, Sir Arlen, found Duncan there in Flea Bottom when he was still only 5 or 6 years old. That's when he decided he would make Duncan his squire, essentially raising him as they wandered Westeros together for the next decade. At the very beginning of the first novella, The Hedge Knight, Duncan is roughly 16 years old, already standing at nearly 7 feet in height. Although he might have been very young, he was also massive and a skilled fighter, thanks to the old man, Sir Arlen. Unfortunately, Duncan was left on his own after Sir Arlen died, and the only things he had to his name were what the old man left him. That was 3 silver stags, some copper pennies, and a garnet. He also had an iron half-helm, a brown leather sword belt, a long sword, and a leather scabbard, a dagger, a razor, and a whetstone. The old man left him 3 horses as well. Now, since they were already on their way to the tourney at Ashford Meadow, Duncan decided he would still go there himself instead. He figured he had nothing to lose, considering he was already on his own, and he barely had anything to his name. He thought some lord might at least take him into his household if he fought well. He just wanted a way to survive without the old man. As he was on his way to Ashford Meadow, he stopped at the end that was alongside the road. Once inside, he met someone who was visibly shaken by the sight of him. This man said he saw Duncan in his dream a night before they met. It certainly feels like an ominous way to start out this journey. While there, he also met a young boy with a shaved head known only as Egg at the time. That same young boy asked Dunk if he could be his squire. Duncan said no, then he left for Ashford Meadow shortly thereafter. Later that evening, he discovered Egg had found his way there anyway. It's as if Egg was already there waiting for him. He soon learned that Egg was from King's Landing as well, just like him. Duncan assumed he was an orphan from Fleabottom. Now, after he arrived at the grounds of the tourney, Dunk was forced to sell one of his horses and Sir Arlan's old armor. It was his only way to buy new armor of his own before entering the tourney, and this was when he met a girl named Tansel, who agreed to decorate his shield with his own sigil. HBO has already revealed which actress they've hired for the role. Now, the day after his arrival, Duncan had to register his name before he could officially enter the tourney. This was when he learned that he had to be knighted first before he could enter. So he went to Lord Ashford's steward, claiming to have been knighted by Sir Arlan right before he died. This is likely not accurate. His thoughts and actions suggest he might have lied so he could enter anyway, and it's certainly understandable given his circumstances. Later that same evening, Tansel was attacked by Aegon Targaryen, who happens to be the crown prince and Egg's elder brother. HBO has revealed that actor as well. Now, as soon as Sir Duncan realized what was happening, he ran to Tansel's defense. Aegon's own guards had to intervene. Sir Duncan likely would have been beaten to death if not for Egg stepping in and revealing his identity. This is when we find out who Egg actually is. He's not some random orphan from Fleabottom. He is Prince Aegon of House Targaryen. Sure, this did stop the guards from attacking Sir Duncan any further. He was still arrested and brought inside the castle to stand before Baelor Targaryen. By now, lies were actually spreading about Sir Duncan. The small folk were saying how he actually kidnapped Prince Aegon before arriving at Ashford Meadow. You see, Egg was already considered missing while he was staying at the end. No one knew he decided to hide on his own. In fact, he actually shaved his own head as a way to conceal who he was. As you can imagine, these lies had King Maekar furious at Sir Duncan. They were basically forced to let Aegon hold a trial against him. Now that Aegon's ego was hurt, he demanded a trial by 7. He wanted Sir Duncan to die for what he had done. It left Sir Duncan at an obvious disadvantage. He didn't even have 6 friends, let alone 6 who would fight alongside him. How the hell would he find enough volunteers who would be willing to help him fight the Targaryens in a trial by 7? He barely had enough armor and weapons for himself. Unfortunately, he would soon learn that he would have to fight against 3 members of House Targaryen, 3 knights of the King's Guard, as well as Sir Steffon Fossaway. It immediately seemed like Sir Duncan was a dead man walking. How would an orphan from Fleabottom win a fight against the Targaryen dynasty? Well, thanks to his new friend Egg, he would find 6 allies who would help him fight in the trial by combat. With the help of his new friends, this trial by 7 would lead to one of the greatest moments in Westerosi history. Now, I don't want to reveal what happens after this because it will likely be the main event in one of the final episodes of the first season. I would highly recommend watching the upcoming show as well as reading the Duncan and Egg novellas. It is one of George R.R. Martin's greatest and shortest stories in A Song of Ice and Fire. We should see a glimpse of this incredible moment once HBO releases the first official trailer during the convention on the 9th of October. Make sure you have all your notifications set so you don't miss out. Remember, we're only about 3 months away from the release of the first season. HBO will start to air the Duncan Egg episodes this January at the beginning of the new year. I will start making additional videos about everything that will happen during the opening season of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Don't forget to subscribe, that way you're the first to know whenever I release a new video. Get ready, my friends, because this is about to be a very exciting year for fans of Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire. Be rest assured that Dunk and Egg will be releasing in January, then we will get House of the Dragon this upcoming summer in roughly June or July. And I must say, I am very excited about these shows. Let me know what you guys think down below about your excitement level. Feel free to share your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. Thank all of you for watching this video. I will see you again very soon.